What's up guys, FuryTV here, and we're back with another episode of Poker Hands. Before getting into it, I would like to ask you guys to hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoy our videos, as your support is allowing us to continue posting videos on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Anton's cousin. And then we got someone claiming to be Anton's boss. So, I mean...
Okay.
But no stories yet. No
I want from the latest
stories.
cousin, I want a piece of information from you, which only Anthony would know.
Well, look at this. Anton with the aces this time.
With the American Airlines, the boots.
The Rockets. What else?
Well, interestingly enough with the aces, and I've argued this out with sort of various GTO players, I've said the aces have a particular feel to them. The reason being they're the best hand in the deck. So when people get them, they sort of almost feel, look, do something a bit, hey, I've got the best hand in the deck.
Look at this defend from Ryan. The best against the worst. 7 deuce.
You don't see that
offsuit.
every day, and this is 7 at least.
Oh,
my goodness.
God. Here we go.
Oh, my goodness.
Just
now,
a question of how
if
fast.
Ryan finds a way to save some check, don't check. You should.
Anton's checked back this board. Well, he might still get it. If he'd bet there, Ryan. Oh my God, Ryan's checked again. A bet now surely gets check raised. And then you would imagine Anton would call 75 into 107. Ryan surely raises here.
Ryan thinks he's hit pay dirt here.
Wow.
He's only called a deuce or a 7 is a bad river.
How is this pot so small?
Oh.
A straightening club on the river. Ryan checks, and Anton, you thought was just going to bet big here.
I like a bet of like 350.
I'll try and piece it together. He has ace of clubs. His opponent doesn't check call too many club draws, so he's going to feel pretty confident he's ahead.
Take a chance. You can take a chance.
Yeah, I think he's gone a bit smaller, 175 like this. And look at this. Somehow this pot's no bigger.
Oh, he's going to be very happy here, is Ryan. If you can ever be happy when you lose a hand.
I mean, we shouldn't be peeling with 7 deuce, but if you are going to peel with 7 deuce and Ryan's aces on ace 7 deuce,
well,
try to lose that many chips.
Let's just think back now through all.
That's just a chicken Caesar salad. Is that just like a chicken salad?
It's good.
No. What is it?
Yeah, it's like chicken.
Yeah.
Jack 3 of diamonds for Zhao, raises it up on the button.
If you don't like watching Zhao play, then you're at the wrong stream. This guy is so active.
It's kings for Freak in the big blind.
Maybe consider just, yeah, there we go. Just flat set the trap with 2 kings. I don't mind it. When we shove, we just forced way too many folds. Oh, boy.
Ace Jack 3, 2 pair for Zhao.
Now, Freak obviously is a little bailed out by the time it does come ace high, but we're just never going to believe Zhao here. I'm never check folding 2 kings in this spot, Jeff. I'm just not. I'm going to lose a street, maybe 2. Have the king of spades in my hand as well.
Freak does check call. Turn is the 4 spades. Freak has the king of spades.
Zhao may elect to just do a little bit of an overbet stuffage here. 164 in the middle, 182 behind if he's counting Freak stack correctly. And that's if we're assuming that these are, in fact, correct stack sizes.
Instead chooses the smaller sizing route, bets 50K.
Induction. Such a weird spot now for Freak. What do we do with 2 kings and the king of spades?
Looks like he has about 200K behind.
There you go. So we can probably comfortably just call again. No reason really to stuff. What are we getting value from? We'd be folding out all the bluffs. Yeah, we're just coming along for the ride.
River the deuce of clubs.
And now all of a sudden it's a one-liner to a straight. If Zhao does find value on the river, I might go broke here with 2 kings. I really might. Does he really have a 5? No way. 2 pair, flush? Really? Just looks like a bluff, doesn't it, Jeff?
Zhao's going to look for max value. And the snap call from Freak with the kings. They are no good, and Freak's tournament is over.
I don't blame him. I really don't. So brutal.
I have the.
What a well-played hand there by Zhao.
It's really hard for someone else to be above average when you have a chip leader with so many chips.
Yeah, for sure. So he's doing well there. Good stuff. Tom's going to limp in with Jack-9 suited. And that's him basically doubled there. He just had him covered.
1 chip in it. Smallest chips in play. Blue 100Ks. That was the difference in stack.
So Kristen's just elected to check back. It's such a poor hand that she could have tried to win it pre-flop and popped it up. It wouldn't have obviously done the job. Tom would have called. Now this is going to be interesting because I expect Kristen to call 1. And if it rolls off an 8, there's going to be some fireworks.
How about the 8 of hearts? Full blood.
Well, she's going to just raise this, I think. Just like, if I've got the best hand, I'm going to protect the best hand.
Right.
But the fact that she's got the 8, she can turn some straight draws, so I don't mind between... I don't expect her to fold, that's it, full stop anyway. I'm saying, so she's always going to call her, as she did, she raised. Which is understandable as well. She wants to maybe protect her equity, doesn't want to see some cards.
Tom, of course, calling with that nut draw.
Oh my god.
Wow.
And it's came an 8.
Tom checks Chrissy now with a pretty clear value bet, holding 2 pair, having had her raise called.
Yeah, this hand needs protection big time. Fair enough, she can be up against Jack-9 quite easily, as is the case, but this hand needs protection. She doesn't want to see a queen, a 10, a jack, a 9. Like, they are the main cards that she doesn't want to see at the same time as she doesn't want to see a king, an ace, because king jack can get there, 2 pair can get there, with like a king or whatever.
And also, of course, you know, blind or blind Tom's limp, so you're never quite sure what the bad cards are you? If he's got a queen here and he continues, you...
I just wonder if Tom's going to maybe just decide to... Like, this is a bit of a mind, a messy thing for the mind here. You're probably supposed to just call theoretically.
Yeah.
But let's see if he raises. I'm saying, like...
I think he's just...
He's using the time bank to decide what he thinks he should do. And at this spot here, like... I don't think you've got to be too balanced. I'm saying, like, we don't block any of the pairs, so when she does raise the flop and then bets the turn, then that's a good chance she's got 2 pair.
Yeah, but
just raise it up, make it 17.5 million or whatever, or make it like 15 million, 14.5 million. I think in this exact spot, maybe there's other spots where you're supposed to just like theoretically call here. But in this spot here, I think I like the raise.
I like calling because I think she can.
I do like I like the raise here because he doesn't block any of the pairs.
Yeah, obviously the situation with bottom too.
I like the sizing as well. He has to make it look as if he could possibly, highly unlikely, but possibly do something here with a bluff.
Right.
Like
a hand like King Jack.
Well, yeah, King Jack is one of the hands that could do this.
Even a hand like perhaps Jack 10?
If there's ever any thought of anything being there, I'm saying like it can make things good and bad.
All in.
And here we go.
She moves all in.
Music.
He snaps, and once more Tom all in. A chance of basically a double up here.
I think I like that.
Yeah, it's music to Tom's ears when he hears the old all in. Obviously, like, Kristen's never going to be dead. She's got 9%.
Well, Kristen does need an 8 or 3 on this river. Now Otherwise, she will be the next to the rail.
Good luck.
That's what it is.
I'm pretty sure you have me. I think I had 36. Well, we can count it.
That's,
Well, we can
that's
see
unlucky for Kristen there.
She is covered. So suddenly Tom basically goes double-double back-to-back hands. Now he's really in the mix with 81.5 million and the best seat in the tournament as he is to the
Raise from Omid, +1, ace, deuce of hearts. Anatoly Peels, 8-3 of spades in the big blind. And puts pair and a flush draw. You could definitely bet here. Opened early against big blind defend on a queen 10 board. He has a lot more of that than the big blind does. Anatoly, of course, got a call with a pair and a flush draw. He's still ahead of some hands.
Check.
Well, gonna get himself in trouble here as he makes aces up via the back door. Does check. Omid's gonna bet 280, and this is a nice spot now for Anatoly to raise. Puts in all his 100k chips. It's enough to put Omid all in. King jacks as well. It will play this way. Well, he calls it off. Anatoly has a flush, and that is that for Omid. Pretty cruel run out. Yoni under the gun, 4.5. Kevin 10-6 in the big blind. He's gonna peel off the chip lead. 6, 7, 8, 2 diamonds. Kevin with bottom pair and a gutter. 9 gives him the 10 high straight. Yoni with an overpair and a diamond. Alright, Kevin with a lead on a flop that Yoni is going to check back a lot. We saw him do this earlier on 8-4-3 all diamonds with Jack 4.
Raise 10 million.
Wow, Yoni going the other way. Been playing cagey poker hand after hand. Now decides to raise this flop against that flop lead. He does. Alright, things changing up here on the final table. These guys have been playing tiny pot poker. Now all of a sudden we have 32 million in there. Pair against pair on 6, 7, 8. Turn 5. A9 now a straight. This is definitely a bad card for Yoni to see. Kevin may well have had a hand like a pair and an open rather than a pair and a gut shot. 7-9. Would have overtaken one pair of jacks, and it does check through. 9 on the end. Well, it is a diamond though. Board runs out a straight. Kevin has the top end. There are diamonds on board. Not quite sure how many diamond combos Yoni raised the flop with. Most likely be one that includes a 9 of diamonds, I would assume. And Kevin checks. Yoni does have the jack of diamonds. Is he going to try and bluff Kevin off what he perceives to be a split pot? He does check it back. Kevin's going to win it.
Fold. $1.3. Fold.
Heads up.
Checker bet.
Jason's gonna bet his 3 deuce on 6-4 deuce. Sean continuing to slow play his jacks. Jason way out of line here, but has turned us straight. And Sean's gonna find this one a little hard to believe. Sean probably wasn't expecting to face a bet on that card. It's a card that favours him over the pre-flop raiser. Be a little suspicious and a little wary. Top card repeats. $10.3 chips, 10.3 million chips in the pot. Jason doesn't have to bet big here. Somewhere in the region of 4 million would be good. 4.7. Does have a lot of missed draws he could be repping here. And Sean does flick it in. Sometimes you slow play a hand, it's very hard to let it go. Matthew nods in approval. He likes to deuce 3 off.
Andy.
I'm just trying to throw a curveball at him,
We are
just to
getting-
see if he cracks and says, no, no, he only has 2 nipples.
I'm cracking.
I'm not his cousin.
Speaking of cracking, we are heading towards the break. I'm going to ask you a question off this hand.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's a very important question that you should all pay attention to. Davide limps the small Johannes, the Swede, the crazy Swede. Looks down.
Now, he is very short, so I think in some ways the best way to play this is to just not raise.
Interesting.
So I would regard it as a mistake here to raise.
Yeah.
Or if it is a raise, it's just double the blind.
I mean, Davide does limp jam some hands, so I can understand the raise. But yeah, there is an argument for checking back.
You play.
Even 20,000 more, you know, but if he raises any more than that, I'd regard it as a mistake.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're trying to say.
I just think
I was like,
Davide does limp jam some hands, so you've got to give him a chance to do that.
yeah, that makes sense.
You're wrong about.
Yeah, let's do it.
You having one, yeah? You having one?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And it's a pretty small raise.
It's still, you know, he's so short, you know, any raise there is
Since we've had a few drinks.
it's huge, you know.
It's less than 2.5 bigs. I don't think you can go any less than that, really.
7 deuce and stuff like that.
Davide, of course, will continue with 5-3 suited to that size.
Been doing that. So you had done our aces. I'm testing him. I'm making the raises a little bit bigger every time.
I would have folded it 7 for a
9-5-4. Well, he's going to get in trouble here.
They're going to get the chips in.
Defended 7-2, so there's no cut.
It'll be.
But he has a cut off with the size of the sizing.
Let's say he made his jam.
Right. That's why I'm testing. 3x, he folds. You'll never find
He's checked, but it's going to be a check raise.
And the beer is making
Yeah,
the
maybe with the
sizing
stack size of the play here.
bigger and bigger. So.
Not bet size, but
Stacks
might
X
just decide
after
to
the
move in.
break.
See, that's 40,000. He's not going to just call, so he's going to stick it in.
And then as you drink more, it comes back into play.
It's gone smaller now, so Davide can just call. But again, may still decide just
But what
to
the flop
raise.
was, I think I did reasonably well.
I would agree.
I like this.
Yeah.
I should have put you
Well,
on
this
7-2
card
and bet
seals it.
flop.
I'm glad he didn't even pair up. My one, anyway.
Would it come A7 deuce?
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah.
Well, pretty sure Davide's going to put it in this time, even though I was wrong last time. No, he's checked again.
Well, he's going to check and allow Johannes
bet
to bet again. He's obviously, he's really actually hoping this just goes check, and then he knows his 5 is almost certainly good.
Okay.
But you feel, is there any folds in him if Johannes pushes here?
No, he's not
in a couple
folding
seconds.
the pair and open
Up to all in about 10 seconds.
Some ace-x hands that are going to bluff because they've got gut shot draw now. Maybe try and make him fold a 5 or a 4. Some spade draws.
If we're just for the students of body language, yeah. If you look a bit closer at Johannes, he looks very strong. He looks very strong. I mean, he's doing some of the breathing. He's doing a bit of the head movement, but it's very different. It's almost like slow. You can feel his head moving slower. There's no twitchiness to him at all. It all feels quite, you know, hey, I'm strong here.
Right, he's bet 45. Davide again, that sizing. That's fine. Just
Well, I do think that's a bit too small because you're letting these hands in and they're getting the price. So
and there it
there
is.
you go.
Straight
And he
on the
got
river.
the price. So I think he's just been a bit too tricky.
I think Davide should just jam here at the spot.
Oh, 100%. Like
Only 202,000 back, 244 in the middle. It's a card he's going to want to bluff some of the time.
and we're going to see Johannes doing the St. Vitus's dance here whenever Davide shoves into him.
It's a really tough spot when he gets shoved into. You know, Johannes can never have a 3 here the way the hand's played out. He never raises pre with a 3. He doesn't bet twice here with a 3 like that. So he never has a straight, and that makes it a good bluff spot for Davide. I think Johannes just has to call this one.
I feel for Johannes here. Definitely feel for him. But I would sort of say generally it looks like he's given away way too much with his body language generally. So he's going to need to look at that moving forward. Here it goes. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and
half.
10,
Quarter.
9,
8. 16. Trying to help you out here, Andrew.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I think he just has to call here. He just doesn't really have any strong hands. This is about as strong as it gets. You have to call this bet some of the time. This seems like a pretty good hand to do it with.
And
not ideal having the king of spades. I guess you'd rather your opponent turns its flush
tough
draws.
man. I think it's just one of those things. He's getting nearly 4 to 1. So
well, it's 2 to 1 because he's only got 200. So it was 2 into 240, I think. So he's getting a little over 2.
200 into 744,000.
But the bet's 500.
Oh right, okay.
Pot's 244 heading into. So he's got to call 202 to win. What?
You're much more. You're very good at this, aren't
It's
you?
almost like it's my job.
Yeah, it is your job. Yeah, thank you for that. I was thinking, God, that pot's a bit big. Where did all those chips come from? But look, on the plus side for Johannes, he is taking his time. You know, very rarely on the river are people betting without you being beaten at this point. You know, I mean that is one of the real statistics in poker. Not that it doesn't happen, but much less than you'd think.
All right.
So sometimes odds go out the window, and if somehow he can find a fold here, you know, I know I'm guessing. It wouldn't surprise me if Johannes hasn't played too many of these things. So this might be a real big deal for him, you know. I think he's decided. I feel like he feels like he's given up the ghost. He's going to put him in. Feels like he's going. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think this is a bad call.
No.
We'll
He's tried his best here. I think the funky mistake was maybe 4 straight, you know, and he was a bit too funky, you know.
Yeah, he was
on the
desperate to
flop,
get
the
action.
25,000 bet. You know, what he's now done is he's given the guy a price on every
Desk. And, you have the 3 tiers of Dust Till Dawn behind that. We have, I know, on the obviously the lower tier this event. Middle tier was the main event, and then the higher tier was the satellite and cash games. There's been a lot of action as well outside of our stream game the last 2 nights, and there's been some high stakes PLO going on.
Here's an action board.
There we go. Lucas continuing to flop best here. And limp pot, Juan Pardo's King 10 looks pretty big here.
So Lucas check raise here, for sure.
Oh, look, Lucas is in position. Not only is that the best hand, but he's also in position.
Okay.
And he's just going to raise this up, try and build a pot.
Hi, Dan. Did you just arrive? Did you just arrive?
There's a lot of sort of ace 4, ace 3 combinations that you could be doing this with.
Yeah, 3, 4, 4, 6 would be the straight draws. Or else obviously just some random bluffs from perhaps, that's like 9, 7 of hearts might do this. And of course weaker 10s may well raise the flop. Ace, like you say, does complete some of his ace 3s, ace 4s, but I think they're more likely to call the flop than raise, given ace high so strong on this texture. So Juan Pardo will probably feel comfortable he has the best hand still. And look at this, Lucas checks back his bottom 2 pair. And wow, what a river. I don't think there's any way, John, that Juan Pardo thinks Lucas had a better hand than when he checked back that turn.
He's going to get paid off, isn't he?
Certainly
Well,
is.
no. But the thing is, he could be afraid of ace, ace 3, ace 4. He may not. He may not. What's he going to bet? About 50? Or do you think he'll overbet?
May as well just go big. You're only getting called by a 10, really.
60.
60. I just don't see how Juan Pardo can fold his 10 here. Lucas can have a 10 easily himself.
Yeah.
Full house will win, and yeah. Lucas, I mean, it's easy for us to sit here and say he should have bet the turn when we see he's up against a 10, but
Folds around the Lucas in the small bot. He'll raise it to 13.5 million, and Severin has aces in the big blind. $77 million behind.
How much? 13.5? 13.5.
He will just make the call, setting the trap with the aces. Oh, and the flop comes queen 10-4. Lucas flops 2 pair against Severin's aces. This is bad news for Severin. We were just saying we haven't seen too many coolers here at this final table. This will certainly qualify. Lucas bets 11.5 million. Severin just makes the call. Does have the ace of spades for now. Still trails. That backdoor flush draw does not come in. Backdoor straight draw does not come in.
Severin with just a pot-sized bet behind. Wouldn't be surprised to see Lucas just jam this as the board's getting a little bit uglier.
56 behind, I think.
25.
25 to 9. Calling.
It's about half
There's the
Severin's
shove from
stack.
Severin, the all-in in the call.
Oh.
Trap gone bad for Severin. Still does have some outs. He'll need to find an ace, 10, or 8 on the river to stay alive. Otherwise, we are down to 3. $171 million in the pot. River card. It is the jack. That will do it for Severin Schlesser.
It happened.
Quite the run for him. Was chip leader at some point.
You are watching PartyPoker Live Big Cash Game. Jesse May is your lead commentator, and I'm trying to make some sense of what's going on.
It is a beautiful set, Simon, and one of the first permanent TV sets built in a poker room, as far as I'm aware.
No.
No?
we built one at Dustle Dawn right at the beginning.
So it's pretty much the
Purpose-built
second,
TV
right
set.
in the ticket room.
It's probably the first one.
Right.
It's the first one in Europe, I would imagine. Mr. T raises to 3,700. Stefan with 3-7. Will he be seduced by the fact that he has 3-7?
Wow, he's raised it from this spot.
And he is. It's like a psychological thing, isn't it? He's bet 3-7 and I've got 3-7. I'm going to call.
I have. That is interesting. Stefan is sucking wind here.
7,900.
I love when these two play a pot because you always have the chance of some real trickery going on. You know,
trickery.
Well, they can go 4 levels deep.
Bet 5,000.
Stefan going to peel here, Stefan.
Stefan goes 5 levels wide for breakfast. He's thinking, so I'm thinking, but he knows I'm thinking he's thinking.
Yeah.
There he goes, 7-3 of hearts. Show him what you can do. I feel a check.
No chance. 17-9 in the middle. He's not going to be worried about 4-5, that's for sure.
And by the way, the reason I knew Sam was going to check is because I was 100% to bet.
What's it? Hold on a minute. It's 25 to 9. I'm going at 9. I've had enough of this. Oh, no.
No,
he put the check in on the turn, and Stefan has rivered 2 pair.
Poor Sam. Poor Sam.
I just hate this game sometimes.
I'd love to actually know from Sam why he decided to check the turn. It's...
Yeah, right, like you're going to fold.
Well, he can't fold. So obviously the question is, can he raise?
You watch Sam's face when he does call.
I knew it, says Sam Trickett. I knew you had the 7-3.
It's crazy.
And for those of you who think that poker is an easy game.
Feels nitty.
Well, that's why you fold it, because sometimes the small blind has the aces. And look at this, he's seen an all in the last 2 hands and it's got to him. And now...
now nothing.
Now nothing. It limps in from the small blind.
It's probably a good limp.
Here I go, checking 3-4 off. And that's definitely one of the hands he may have raised, right? Just plays so bad post.
4-3 is not so good.
Well,
hello.
6-5-3. Philippe checking straight over to Diogo, who does bet bottom pair in the straight draw. Are you a fan of this check from Philippe?
I mean, I typically just bet a lot from the small blind when I limp. I think people probably fold a little bit too much, and if you bet small, you get to see the turn with a lot of your overcard type hands.
I guess on the flip, though, if Diogo does have some of this flop, he's probably going to bet it a lot of the time for protection. We see he bets even bottom pair here, albeit with a straight draw.
He is, but he bets minimum.
Right.
It's not like you're getting money in the pot when you bet minimum.
And now you see control of the pot, and it gets
This
to the river.
happens.
Yeah.
Goes check, check. And now, well...
And now you lose.
You lose. But even if you don't lose, the pot's not big. And you want to figure out a way to play big pots with your aces, not tiny pots.
You start with less than 20 big blinds and you get aces. You want to be playing bigger pots than this.
Check.
Diogo goes
Aces.
check.
Aces? Aces?
They are no good. Right, smile.
Oh, tricky play.
Hey, trying to trap me, huh? I'm just going to do it on one bullet. I'm not one of these... I can just do it on one. You got to believe in yourself.
I can wait till Wednesday or Thursday. It's irrelevant. I'm going to make it through with one anyway.
I like
it's all
it.
good.
None of this. How many can we fire each day?
Ooh. You would have had to think a bit.
No, I would have folded instantly.
I don't have that. I mean,
but I like you.
Chris limps in the small with 9-7.
Yeah, it was great to see you as well, Robert.
Yeah, I was about to say, of course, Kilted Sharks popped in here.
Team Scotland for the one, definitely.
That'd be a good call.
I'm going to have to be biased here on the commentary booth. And
There's nothing wrong with a bit of bias, mate.
yeah, and root for Feraldo. Unfortunately, he lost that last hand.
You mean so you could throw it in the muck?
no, ace jack would have been a rip there.
Ace jack right in the muck. Right? No?
No, what?
Ace jack right in the muck.
Chris has checked his straight draw, perhaps surprisingly here, having him from the small. Darren's bet second pair.
But he is up against the chip leader. He doesn't want to be forced to bet, then get raised, then all of a sudden he's going to play a big pot, whereas he didn't need to. He could check call.
Good luck, my friend.
That way he gives himself an option to get to see the river card.
And wow, what a turn card that is for him.
Fantastic.
I knew if it was good enough for Zeno, it was good
Like
enough for me.
Christopher.
He's still going to keep the same line and check it. And it's a good chance Darren's going to check it back here.
Really good.
He's got like the worst eight you can ever bet.
Well,
and that
three on the
is
river.
Nice. If Christopher does does find a check here, unlikely. But if he did,
well, what if he bets? Does Darren not raise?
No, I think he just calls, depending on the sizing.
Right, that's what I'm saying. If he goes to kind of like a block sizing,
that's the thing with the game at this moment in time. I'm saying like it would have to be a very small sizing.
Well, it is pretty small. 350.
Well, that's perfect. Darren's going to make it like 1.1 million. And Christopher may just be all in.
He just gets to say those words.
Yeah, the sizing, very good sizing here from Christopher.
It's a perfect run out for Chris. Not only did he turn the nuts, but he missed a heart or spade coming on the river as well.
If Christopher did go like half pot here, I would just assume that Darren would just snap call.
Right.
If he went like 70% pot, I would assume he'd just go half pot.
He's got 1.6 by the looks of things here.
That's monstrous. I thought he was going to go like 1.1. He's went 1.6.
Just trying to get Chris to hero him.
He does beat like 5-6. That's the only two pair that he beats and gets maybe called off of. But at the same time as making it 1.6, when he does get jammed on, it makes it easier to fold at times.
Because it's harder to bluff that sizing.
Yeah. But there's all sorts of levels involved in these situations. You can level yourself. There goes the time bank.
Balance your time bank usage.
Yeah, definitely. That's what it's there for. Not for decisions. As you can see, he has no decision.
Yeah, I mean, Darren's just hoping that Chris somehow got to the river here with an 8 or a 10, I guess, that isn't going to fold. When he raises, it just looks so bluffy with all those draws missing. But we can see Chris has the nuts. Just deciding how much to make it.
I think this is going to be all in.
Well, I was about to ask you that. As a bluff, given the ICM considerations, would he not bluff smaller than all in?
No, I don't think he would. I think he's trying to decide whether or not he should make it like 4 million and keep himself like 4 million
it
back.
Looks like he keeps himself 4 million back, right?
Yeah, that way he gives himself a chance to outlast Zeno.
Yeah.
And get that extra 25k pay jump or whatever it is.
I think it's definitely something he might do here.
But the question is, if he were to turn some sort of hand into a bluff, I'm trying to think what hand would he get to this stage with.
Wow, he's burning all the time
I
cards.
think he's just trying to...
Lawrence just obviously thinks he's got the best hand.
I don't
here.
know if he's made up his mind and decided he's going to shove all in, or he's trying to think what is the best, because he is very much like one of the best players online. He's done a lot of work in this game in the last few years, so he's actually probably running everything through his head, thinking to himself, what does he have? What can he think that I have that I could be turning into a bluff?
Here we go.
And he's going to go... He's went for 5.2 million. Okay.
Wow, and Elias wants to be sick. So yeah, he has left himself those chips back, perhaps making it look like it could be a bluff.
So he's ended up going in between the all-in and the 4 million or whatever we were talking about.
That was fun. I miss hanging out with you and Emily. Like,
wow, huge pot going off there.
Like he's used a lot of time banks there, and he's worked out what he thinks is the best play.
Right.
Because at the same time as you making that play, you can't just be making that play because you have the nuts. You've got to also think, what hands
what
is he going to perceive that I'm going to be turning into a bluff?
Right, that was why I thought maybe less than all in is...
And I'm trying to think just now by looking at this board, and it's taken me a long time to think. So, I think Darren's going to... I think Darren's going to...
Jack 9, maybe Queen Jack, those kind of hands.
We can throw some hands into like the loop, but they would have to be like King High, Ace High type hands that have showdown value, that don't lead the flop. So that's pretty much natural from Darren. He's going to use another time bank as well, because I think he's going to work out the correct decision and fold.
My only question is...
He's thinking clearly,
my
like,
question,
what are the hands here that he's bluffing, turning into a bluff?
The question I was going to ask you is, obviously his value hands are pretty much what, just the nuts. Like, I'm coming back to my thought, which was, I asked you, does Christopher not usually bet this flop? And there we go. He has made the call.
I think the fact that he played the hand so good by not leading the flop with 7-9.
That's what sold it. It doesn't. Surely he'd expect him to lead 7-9.
Because if he had like 7-4, obviously it's a totally different situation in the sense it's 5-handed and there's a lot of ICM involved now.
Right.
But if we were playing like basic poker when there was like 50 players left, if he had 9-7 here,
right,
and there's no ICM consideration, he would lead.
Yeah.
Anton on the button with queens. Christian defends in the big blind with the 9-6 of clubs. It comes 8-7 deuce, open-ended straight draw for Christian. Anton bets 7.5 million. The check raise from Christian to 23 million with that open-ended straight draw.
My, oh my. And if I have 2 queens here, certainly going to take my time not folding. And I would do just this. I would call. Allow bluffs to remain in contention. And oh dear.
The 5 ball rolls off on the turn. It's the 5 of hearts. Anton does have the queen of hearts. Straight for Christian. 63 million in this pot. He'll bet 18 million.
Once again, if I'm Anton now with the queen of hearts, you just have to call. Can't assume that all flush draws have check raised me. I am worried about the straight.
Anton does call. Almost 100 million in the middle. 3 of spades on the river. Christian's hand is best.
And decision time. Christian likely. Did he just check, Jeff?
He did.
He did check. He's going to let him off the hook here.
He is.
Anton deciding if he should just bet for value here with 2 queens now. It looks like this is going to work out just fine for him. Wow. Hand is way too good to fold if you're Christian with the straight. If he has a flush, you just have to pay him the money.
The bet is for 45 million.
45? Queens. Straight.
It does it. Whoops. Here comes.
They got 999 runners. We're down to our final 3. First place guaranteed $1 million. Second place $600,000, and third place will walk around with some 400K in change. So not a bad deal.
Yeah, these guys should all be pretty happy with the amount that they've made so far. I don't know how many bullets each one of them is in for, but
I can't imagine David's in for too many, because after winning the 10K high roller, I think he could only play the turbo and probably wouldn't allowed him to get
yeah, he
in.
would have missed the first 2 day ones.
Now this could spell trouble. This is a really big flop for heads-up action here. David's flopped 2 pair, where Alexander's flopping up-down straight draw, and obviously a backdoor flush draw 6 high. David's let out with a bet of 10 million into 22 million, bringing the pot to 32 million. Over to Alexander.
And given the way Alexander's been playing, I expect him just to call here, which he does.
Wow.
And that is a good turn for Alexander.
So what a turn card for Alexander.
65.
Wow.
And an overbet.
Wow. What a wow.
Wow. Yes.
That
is a large bet.
That is quite
I like
an
it.
overbet.
Yeah, I like this overbet. I mean, it's obviously sucks when you're against 6-7, but he's basically preventing Alexander from ever raising with a flush draw here, which is good. He gets value from 5-4 as well, and 8's maybe an overpair if Alexander has it. I can't remember if David raised pre-flop or not. That's
In every other pot that he's played and not said anything, so I would take that into consideration if I'm David.
I think once he tanks this long, it actually makes more sense to jam. But
now that David has, David bet what 65 into a 40 million chip pot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I was right there.
I imagine he will be checking this river. The problem here is you just can't get called by worse really if you shove. And I mean, I guess you could go for a blocking sizing here. 65
is the same 65.
Yeah, I mean that I guess that is a block.
How excited is Alexander here right now?
I mean, he's enjoying it. But I mean, again, after taking so long on the turn and then calling an overbet, once he goes all in on this river, David's just snap folding basically everything. Like the worst, the only hand he can have on the turn that doesn't have showdown value is well, I don't even think, I mean, ace high clubs maybe, but then now he has top pair, so he's not going to bluff shove top pair here.
You really done with 6-7?
Yes.
Yes, he did. He really did tank with 6-7. It'd have to be a hand like 6-7.
6-7, all combos of 6-7 and 4 combos of 6-3 suited. So only 20 combos there, but I think those are the only 20 combos he has. Full stop.
Yeah, he doesn't have
so
3-6 off.
I think he has 0 bluff combos.
Nice hand.